Hey, everybody. We are back to yet another episode of Boss Your Business, the podcast. Today, I'm really excited because I have a feeling we might be nerding out a little bit about human design. If you don't know, I am a sucker for personality tests. So with that, I want to welcome Renee today. Renee is the owner and content magician, queen, goddess behind Fresh Life Marketing. You are also the woo-woo marketer who never knew that we actually needed you. I agree on that one. That's how I found you. From content repurposing and creation to creating a marketing strategy that feels oh so good in all the right places. Renee defines the way you market and run your business by using your exact design, purpose, gifts, and innate strength. You craft a specific to your client marketing strategy that empowers them to share their magic with the world. You are meant to shine at something, and Renee is the concierge to help you figure that exact thing out. And that's exactly how we met. I think we connected somehow through a mutual connection on Instagram. We're total Instagram besties. We are seeing each other for the first time, other than recorded video today. But yeah, I'm like, you're my Instagram bestie. You are my sister from another mister.
That tends to happen in my field of people. I like to go deep with people instead of wide, and you guys are like stuck with me. That's what I told you. I'm like, once you kind of connect with me, you're stuck with me forever. Like hitch in, we're ready to go.
Girl, I don't care how much I might offend you ever, and you can try to block me. You will never get rid of me. I'm attached to your hip now. Done. No, I'm also looking forward to, we are actually also connected with Jessica Muggs, and we will get to meet in person because we are both locally here in San Diego.
Yes, ma'am. I am super excited to put pants on.
Yeah, what you don't see is I'm actually right now wearing jammies on the bottom too. So even if you're watching YouTube, cute on the top, comfy on the bottom. The joys of digital marketing. Now, Tammy, we already got an idea of, I already mentioned it, you are big into personality profiles, specifically human design, and I'm pretty sure also Gene Keys. Mm-hmm. How did you get here? Who is past Renee that got her to today?
Oh man, I have been the black sheep the entire lifetime I've been here. Never, ever did anything that anybody told me. Never did anything right. I was a horrible student, always in trouble.
Who says what's right or wrong though?
Right? Yeah, you know
who
what?
Are those people?
They were all wrong because I was clearly right.
Apparently, we wouldn't be talking today.
Yeah, so I mean, my entire life I've always been the weird one. Always did things my own way, never went right when everybody else was going right. I always went left, and I freaking colored that thing flashy, and it happened. So I knew at a young age, I was like, okay, your girl is not meant for the normal world. Like corporate's never going to be my thing. I'm never going to have a 9-to-5. I'm never going to do anything like that. And so I knew even in high school, I was like, I can't ever do anything that I don't have a control over my schedule. So I was like, I'm going to be a hairstylist. That's going to get me to my own schedule, right? Because I'm like, who doesn't have a boss? A hairstylist. I didn't know what entrepreneurs were back then. And I'm like, I'm going to be a hairstylist because then I can make my own hours and just make people pretty and like, it'll be easy. Did that. Killed it. Was so good at that. Then I found tanning and I was like, well, I can make more money in a really quick capacity. So I started spray tanning for a living, ended up kicking so much ass at that I became an educator for a tanning company. And I started traveling all over, doing swim week for Mercedes-Benz, all that stuff. Literally everything, YouTube, conferences, you name it. Did all of it. Conquered the world. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to have a baby. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. Quit everything. It lasted maybe a week.
She's like, yeah, me staying at home with you're not happening, kid. Here's the key. There's snacks in the fridge. You go have fun.
100%. And I was like going crazy. And I was like, I need, because if you think about it, I went from such a people business and such a high, attention business to then going to the park or like little things like that. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I was like going crazy. So I started to spiral. I started to go backwards. I started to get anxiety. I started to get depressed and all that. And my husband's like, you need something. You need an outlet. So luckily I had fitness keeping me sane. So I mean, my body was banging. Not so much anymore because now I have a business, but I was
there is such a thing as balance. I'm like, don't get me wrong. There is a dream of mine where I have a 6-pack just once. But I love food so much, and I love my coffee, and I love my sweets, and I do love my glass of alcohol here and there. It's like that just doesn't fit with a 6-pack at a 40-year-old female.
Yeah, shit starts to change past 30, but it's fine.
just a little. So
I was like, okay. So my husband was like, you need to start a blog. Like, there needs to be something. So I was like, all right. Never even touched a computer in my entire life. Like, did not own one, didn't even know how to do it. I had an iPhone, and that was as far as I got. And so I got this like gut feeling. I was like, there's this women in business conference. I'm gonna go to it. Like, I feel like I need to go there. I have never been on a plane by myself. Never even been. It was in St. Louis, Missouri. I don't know anything about anything. And I'm like, I'm just going to go and see what happens. And I did. And that day I started my blog. Like that day when I got there, it was like the first speaker. And then I started my blog like 2 seconds after and figured it out. And then it was off to the races ever since. Started doing content, started doing repurposing because I was like, how the heck can I get my name out there? Nobody knows who I am. I'm broke because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't have any money. I can't charge anything. So I started doing content repurposing just as a habit. And then people were like, well, how are you doing that? Yeah. I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm just doing it. Like, you do this. So I started teaching these small businesses on how to do their content on social media. They're like, well, we want a community. I'm like, damn right we do. So I did a community, started doing a shirt subscription for small businesses. I would design shirts, ship them every month. And I had a community of over 120 small business owners. And we were all just vibing, and I was teaching them how to do content. And then I started realizing like, all right, well, I guess this is bigger than what I'm doing. I mean, there's something naturally pulling me this way. So I started doing like Pinterest marketing. Then I started doing content repurposing, and every single stage in my business from then has evolved from thought this was the problem. Then I saw another problem. Then I saw a bigger problem, and I just followed the call like every step of the way. And now that I'm telling you that, it's
I just followed the yellow brick road.
That's
I'm
exactly
like, it's
what
just,
it is.
what else do you do? It's like, there is a problem, we solve it.
You're paying attention. Well, that's where I think a lot of people get stuck, is because they think they have to stay because it's their identity and it's who they are, right? So I could have easily been like, well, I can't do Pinterest marketing because I'm only a small business. Like, I only make t-shirts, right? Oh, well, I can't, even though I learned it out of desperation because I was like, I need to make more money. I need to grow this thing. Pinterest obviously is a poppin' spot. And so I just learned it and then shared to everybody what I was learning. And then they were like, well, obviously, you know your shit. Take my money. I don't want to do it. I'm like, all right, I'll take your money gladly. Then they were like, I was doing their Pinterest, but they were trying to grow other social media platforms. I'm like, wait, hold up. You're going to pay me all this money to grow your Instagram so you can get 10K followers? That's like ridiculous. Why do you not have a blog? Why do you not have emails? Why are you not doing this? They're like, I don't know. And I'm like, boom, that's the problem. Repurposing. Like, they don't know how to do it. I know how to do it. I thought it was easy. I thought everybody just knew how to repurpose their content. I mean, bless.
Girl, that was such a big lesson for me too in my business when it finally clicked that I realized people don't see the world like I do. No. Where it's like it's right there. What are you talking about? And it's just, but we have the same kind of blinders in other areas of our lives. So I'm like, it makes total sense. But to get to this point of this comes so easy to me, and I had moments where I'm like, why am I even charging for this? I'm supposed to be charging how much for this?
Like, that's the reaction. It's easy for me. I obviously shouldn't get paid for it. Like, that's how ass backwards we are.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to me. I love what I do. There is no way in hell I could get paid for this. It should be, yeah, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm naturally interested in. Of course, I should be paid for this, because who doesn't want to do what they love and get paid for it?
And who doesn't want to hire somebody that loves what they do because they are way better at what they are doing than anybody else?
I want my finance person and my tax person and the person working on my car to love what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to hate what they're doing, because I hate it, and two hating it ain't going to get us anywhere.
Now the question is, how does somebody that hasn't figured out yet what they love figure it out?
I say, one, what do you like? What are you drawn to? Right? Because I mean, I'm not drawn to painting. I'm not drawn to finances. I'm not drawn to, I don't know anything. Like, I don't know what else.
Oil changes.
Yeah, like I'm not drawn to those things, right? So it's like, instead of replacing it, like everybody goes in with should, this is safe, this is what everybody else is doing. Why don't you just pull back and say, okay, what am I naturally drawn to? Like, what do I naturally feel like I help people with? Or what would I want to help people with? If we removed everything, like a good one is like, if you removed everything and it was already done, you're already a millionaire, billionaire, you already got you already got everything. It's already done. Checked off the list. What would you be doing?
The exact thing I'm doing today.
Can people, I mean, and surprisingly, a lot of people don't even know the answer to that.
It's been so interesting. I'm like, right, single in San Diego right here. Got a couple of fun buddies, but in general, I'm single over here. So I'm on the dating sites and everything. And it was really interesting. I matched with a guy a couple of days ago, and he's like, so what are you interested in? What are your hobbies? And I literally just replied with, you say to the one that actually loves what she does for working and could do it 24/7. I have to I love meeting people. I love food. I love getting out, but I'm such a homebody, loving what I do. I could do it all the time. Don't get me wrong. There is health and emotional stuff that comes with that, where after 2 weeks of sitting alone at home, I'm like, I need real people. I need to get out. So it can have its downside too. So it's finding that balance, and it's finding what that means to you. And especially after the last few years we had, right? Getting back into a new normal. But I'm like, do I need a hobby? Yeah, I need something else to just also get out of my comfort zone, to train my brain, do different things. I should there comes the shooting again, get back into the gym. But it's like, there is nothing better than doing what you love doing, because it means you're gonna be the best out there at doing it.
Exactly. And it's okay to say, like, even if you ask people, like, people will be like, what are you good at? Like, people are, you're the best hype girl ever. I'm like, damn right.
Fuck yeah, you are.
You're really good at content. I'm like, yeah, I know. You're a good writer. Like, yeah, I know. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's certain things that people will tell you that you are amazing at.
Listen.
Exactly. And nobody does, because their mind is so busy being like, should, safe, have to, this is wrong, this is right. Oh, who am I? It's all like that negative self-talk. And that's why I loved human design so much, is because I was guilty of all of that. Even though it was like that foot on the gas, foot on the brake, like my body, everything in me knew I was the shit. I'm like, I'm better than all these people. And then my limiting belief mind was like, no, you're just Renee. You're weird. Like, you're weird. Nobody likes you. You know what I mean?
No, that's why I love you. And it's like, you are the hype woman. I'm like, we had this conversation of, girl, because I loved your approach of combining personality with marketing. And we had that conversation in our Instagram messages, where I'm like, how the hell am I gonna, I know I do a lot of things. I'm passionate about a lot of things. I get bored if I have to do the same thing over and over again, which to me, systems are actually not. I take all the different stuff, how things run, and we make it simple, but it's always different. But to the out-facing, I create content, I coach, I have this offer, I do this, I do that. And we had this conversation in our Instagram messages, where I'm like, girl, how the hell am I putting this into marketing? I'm confusing the audience. You guys want to know what she did? She told me to shut the fuck up and own my weird.
It's not wrong. That's what I don't understand. I mean, I understand because it's society. Think about it. School teaches you that you're wrong for standing out. They want everybody, it's stamp and repeat. They want everybody to be the same. They want everybody to do this and everybody to do this. Like, you're not encouraged to be different. You're not encouraged to do things your own way. When it comes to math, or because I homeschool, it's like when you come to math, like, you don't just give them the answer. They don't want that. They want you to show them how you work, even though that's not how you got the answer. Like, they don't encourage it. So we expect to go now shine in a different way and do it with confidence. We have a lifetime of that's wrong. You can't do that. And we wonder why we're scared shitless of being weird, being different.
I was really happy when 40 hit because I got to a point where I finally stopped giving a shit. Yeah. So
time helps you do that too, because it's like, you understand that that's not your truth, that you can see word for word your truth. And then you're like, oh, okay. So that's actually my superpower that I'm weird. Like,
it was between Gene Keys and human design.
100%.
It was like a permission slip where I'm like, oh my God, written in black and white. This is me. It's like, damn.
Yep. And then you realize all this shit is an illusion.
Mm-hmm. I still say we're in a matrix.
100% agree.
We're in the matrix. Now, how does Renee live her life now? Because I know there was a lot of stuff going on in all of this. A lot of struggle to get here today, a lot of physical, mental struggles going on. How, now that you realized you are the queen of your own life, how does Renee's life look like today?
I am the most selfish person you will ever meet. Like, the most, because I don't care about anybody else until I care about myself first. And that is a non-negotiable.
The interesting thing, though, is, and anybody that's watching the podcast on YouTube just saw my eyes go all over the place, because you don't feel egotistical to anybody else at all. You are the most supportive. You are the most, I'm like, I literally just popped into your Instagram and we started talking for an hour. Who does that? We do. Where it's like, you are the living example of being egotistical doesn't have to be a negative. It doesn't mean you're an asshole just being grumpy Karen yelling at people. And that's why my eyes were going all over the place, where I'm like, I see where she's going with this. I hear what she is saying, but you don't come across like that at all. Hold. Let me rephrase that. You are not coming across in a way we have been taught what egotistical means. There is that piece.
100%. And all it is it's that truth that, like I said, I literally planted my stake in the ground. I said, I will not settle for the second best version of me. I will not let my mind or beliefs or society or other people's opinions affect how big I can be. And this did not take me one time. This took me years. This took a lot of healing. This took a lot of childbirth. This took every woo-woo practice you could think of. I eat that shit up. And so when I finally started doing that and realized it, I'm not focused on, I'm not in competition with anybody else, because I understand how the universe works, that if you are not on my fractal, then that's okay. I'm not competing with anybody. I have a fractal. You have a fractal. I have a group of people that are destined to work with me. They love me. And once I uncover who I am, then they are drawn to me. I live by this. So I don't compete with people. If people ask me questions and they're in a similar field, or if they're using my stuff or anything, I don't have competition with that. I have competition in myself. I want to make sure that I'm not settling I'm not letting myself down. Right. And that's where all the woo, this is way easier said than done. That's why I have to be selfish, because if I don't, then I turn into that second best version. So if I don't prioritize me first and making sure I'm checking my boxes of like getting my mind right, getting my connection done, getting my body right, like fueling me, then I turn into that negative Sally, egotistical bitch yelling at everybody. Right? So it's like there's a reason that this works is because I prioritize it and I choose to play by the laws of the universe and not the laws of society. I don't care about anybody else. I care about myself, and then I can serve, because that's all we're here to do, is to serve the world in our unique way. So if we don't even know what that is, how can we do it? So that's a majority of my focus, is figuring out what my gifts are and how I can best give them to people.
And this is why we crossed paths now and we get along so well. Yeah, we've been exchanging a lot of resources. It's been fun. We even match coloring. It's like,
I know.
I cannot wait for lunch. I cannot wait for lunch. How do you serve your clients, your audience nowadays?
Pretty much. So what I'm a big believer in finding marketing and sharing your story in a way that feels aligned for you. And like you said, when I show up, it's with the intent of making everybody my best friend, because I understand that that's where my opportunity comes from. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve and share as much as possible. And so I show up in a way that feels good. I don't do anything I don't want to do. So I show up on stories because that's where I can connect. I show up on my website. I show up on emails because everything is done with, I need to make sure I'm getting the most bang for my buck, right? Like, I don't play into marketing as far as like, you have to do it this way. You have to do it that way. Like, do not tell me what to do. I create my own strategy. Like,
you tell me to go left, I'm gonna go right. Don't
yeah,
tell me
100%. So
Uh-huh.
when like every guru on Instagram's like, you have to be on TikTok, you have to be on Reels, you have to do that, I'm like, fuck you. I have no interest in that. And guess what? My business started thriving when I finally did that. And that's not to say that, you know, they don't work. If that is your strategy and that is what works for you and that's what you love, then you're going to kill it. But I don't. I dread it. So I do what I love. And what I do is show up on stories every single day. I speak to your soul. I look straight into your eyes and give you the feisty senorita tough love that you need, because I know that that's what's going to get the results. I do. I don't mess around.
Nope.
And so I show up in a way and share my story in a way that feels good and encourages other people to do the same. That says, hey, I'm going left. I'm doing everything wrong compared to society's standard, and I'm thriving. Like, I'm going to prove it to you that this shit works. Like, you cannot convince me otherwise, because I've built my business the other way, and it was hell. And it gets to be fun. I'm proof of that.
Girl, I hear you. I hear you. And it's like that's one of the big things where I'm working on right now, where I always had that perception of I need to be new, I need to be fancy, I need to have the crazy ideas. And then you look at my personality charts and it's like, no. What you are great at, first of all, is I'm reactive. I am so big time reactive, and it has been such a big issue in my business. No, not in my business necessarily, because clients come to me and ask the questions, so I get to be reactive. But in my community, in my social media, where it's like when people come to me, I always joke, it's like, put a camera in my face, ask me a question, and I'm not going to shut up. That's exactly the impersonation of my personality profile. Ask a question and you will get all the answers. So we are literally switching everything around right now to get my community to do so, where it's like, I'm here for you. All you need to do is ask. And then that point of, I have to be new. No, I'm great at making connections, meaning I look at this teaching, this teaching, this teaching, this teaching, and my brain constantly bounces in between big picture and tiny application, where I pull a little bit from here, I pull a little bit from there, I pull a little bit from there, I put it in a box, I shake it up, and I give it back to you.
Love it.
And it's like, that has been my growth, and especially also with chatting with you and all the things, where it's like, oh. And it's starting to feel so much better, so much easier, where it's like, even coming up with content, right? Where it's like, I don't know what the hell to talk about. This is also easy. I already talked about this. So now shifting the approach of generating those questions, of getting the community to ask the questions, starting to make all the other things way much easier. So guys, this is why I wanted to bring Renee on, because it aligns with your personality type. And I don't care where you are starting. I've done them all. 16 personalities, value elicitation and NLP, my gene keys, my human design. I have them all. Whatever helps you to figure out how you are doing things, what feels good for you. Often enough, I'm like, when I started out with this, it was like, I am a I am a data nerd, right? I'm constantly analyzing, how do I react? Why do I react to things certain way? How am I better? How am I not better? I promise you guys, personality profiles, and for me specifically, gene key and human design, have given me a better understanding to the data I was already collecting, but also a permission slip, where it's like, it makes it easier to move forward when you literally have it written black on white that says, this is why you were weird. It's a good weird. It might be different to somebody else's weird. Here's how this works. It makes it so much easier.
It's all the things, like if you really want a shortcut to human design, everything that you're telling yourself is weird, everything that you're telling yourself is wrong, are actually your superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the straight to the point. Like, that's it. That's it. It's everything that you know deep down. When somebody tells you no, like I always say, because I like to flow, right? I had a podcast for a couple of years, and like I never scripted. I was my partner that I did the podcast with, my co-host. She was a manifesting generator, and she had to like script everything to a T. Like everything was documented. Google Docs. She's like, get the link, get the show notes ready when you're on the thing. And I'm like, I'm just gonna show up. I'm gonna show up. I'd let my Palo Santo, I'd show up and I'd flow, because everything comes to me in the moment. My intuition is spot on. So I drop in, and then everything that I need to say is in the energy of the moment. But when I plan things, I get jumbled and I start creating an identity or imitating somebody else's thoughts. And so I can't do that. So I would always think I was wrong or lazy because I just did that, even though that's my superpower, because I can do that. You throw me in any environment,
oh God, yes,
crush it. It's not a big deal to me. But when you tell me I have to prepare, hell to the no.
Oh God, like, you want me to go on the stage and I need slides? Why?
No, like if you put me in a room and you're like, okay, I'm going to have you speak to my community. Can you prepare a deck or a presentation, or it's going to be recorded, there's not going to be anybody on the call, I will not do it. They can pay me whatever they want to pay me. I will not do it, because I need connection. I cannot do what I do if I don't have that connection. And then I find out I'm a projector, and it's because projectors, our aura is penetrating. We see the other deeply. And I can see exactly what you need just by looking at you and tapping into your energy. So it's like, if I'm talking to a screen with nobody there, I have nothing to drive me. I'm just like a wet noodle standing there. But when you put me in somebody's energy, I'm like a freaking firecracker. So it's like all the things that you were told you were wrong your whole life are actually your superpower. I used to think I was a fraud. Perfect example. I have a 4-line as my profile. I used to think I was a fraud. I'm like, I worked with my business coach, and when she asked for my financials, I was like, well, I have to tell you something. And she's like, what? And I was like, well, these are all my friends. So like, I'm not really like a business owner. Like I don't prospect or anything. Like I've never done that. People just come to me. I have like friends and referrals. So I'm not technically like a real business owner. And she's like, are you kidding me? And then I go to my profile and it says your network is your net worth. Your opportunities come from your circle of friends. The more high quality friends you have, the more high quality opportunities you'll have. And I'm like, well, son of a bitch. This whole time I thought I was wrong. And then I'm like, I hit the networking jackpot. I don't have to do nothing. It's like everything that you think is wrong is your superpower. I can guarantee it.
I need to get back into my human design. I'm like, I am a manager, but the idea of fully scripting, I'm like, you've got the rundown in the green room, right? We are literally running this show on 3 questions just to have a little bit of row. But I'm like, I barely script my intro hook on YouTube and then I just run with it. So I'm like, I'm kind of in between. Just because I'm trying to keep it in a certain time frame, because as we know, Evie can talk for hours. Love it. So we know you are building your business, you're running your business around human design. What are some other processes, workflows, tools that allow you to run your business as you do right now?
Oh my gosh, the best thing I ever did was hire an OBM, so an online business manager. She runs everything I don't. So I am a creative, I am a flower. You put me in systems, you put me in analytics, you put me in financials, invoicing, contracts, all that, I want to die. So I hired that out. I use Dubsado, which is like a CRM, and she runs all of it. So all I have to do is show up. It's the best thing I ever did.
Yep. Dubsado fan over here too.
Yeah. So because it was funny. So I hired her out to just build it for me. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'm not ready. Like, I don't need a business manager. It's fine. Just, set it up to where it has the workflows. Then I would still get anxiety. I'd still have panic attacks. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just did this call. Because my sales calls are like an hour and a half long. I get to know people. And then I would have to go and figure out how to send the contract and the invoice and the questionnaires and the Zoom links and all that. I'm like, no. We're done. I'm like, you take this over. She handles everything. All I do is what I'm here to do. And I help people. And that's why I deliver such a good result to my clients, because I'm not wasting my time on the stuff that I don't get paid for. You're not paying me to send you 3 Zoom links and make sure you get it. You want that time going into your gene keys, figuring out what you're here to fucking do.
And the interesting thing is, I'm like, as much as I love the whole systems aspect and everything, I'm right now in that phase where I'm like, OBM, implementer. It's the combination of, OBM has become such a broad term where it's like, I need a right-hand wing woman. I am a quick start, but the follow-up of the nitty-gritty implementation don't even know. So it's like, I'm working literally right now on that job description for, quote, OBM implementer, my right-hand wing woman that can just pick up what I started. And outsourcing what you do not want to do, what you don't like doing, is such a energy grab back. So I feel
when you're not bogged down, you have so much creative energy. And it's like, even if you aren't replacing like that time with an activity or something productive, you're actually doing even more productive shit.
We don't always have to be getting shit done.
Go out. I sit on the porch with my chickens for like hours. You know what I mean? Because I know
pick up some eggs.
Yeah, because I know that that's what's going to give me that creative output. It's going to recharge my battery. And if you're not recharging your battery, you're going to freaking suck at what you do.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple. This isn't rocket science. It's truth.
There's a reason why the best ideas come in the shower, because you're finally shutting off your brain and you're just relaxing.
Or driving or not doing anything. Then you finally can hear that little tiny voice that everybody's longing to hear.
Because you shut all the other noise up.
Exactly. It's like, you guys, this took me a long time. It's like when we just finally realize it's really not that hard.
I'm one of those procrastinators that gets busy when I'm in growth, where I catch myself where I'm like, why the hell did I just do that? Why did I focus on that? And it's usually to shut up that little voice that's telling me I want to go there. There. And I just get busy over here and don't hear the voice.
And as a management, you're literally like the Energizer bunny that never stops. And geez, you guys, like, it's never
just a little
ever ending.
Just a little.
It's like I'm married to one, and I'm like, dude, Like, I need to recharge. You are too much for me right now.
The nice thing is, though, at least with me, if I get boundaries, help me. Boundaries help me, especially with interpersonal connections, where it's like, girl, don't message me. We talk in the evening, kind of thing, or this is how I perceive this. If I get boundaries, if I get expectations, sweet. You just saved my brain about 10,000 different neurons, because I don't have to figure out what's going on in your head and how and why and where. Cool. Awesome. Done. I'll message you on Monday.
Bless for human design and gene keys.
Girl, trying to educate a date on boundaries are good. Can you please give them to me because you are saving me brain power? That's a weird conversation. See, I can go off in all different directions. Dubsado, your OBM, are there any other tools, processes that help you nowadays?
I do pretty much. I have this thing where I call it Fresh Life 365. It's like my mind body business. So this is how I keep myself not negative is I do one activity for my mind, one activity for my body, and then one activity to connect with my soul and one for my business. And I make sure that I'm hitting all of those so that I'm not out of balance. Because I don't know about you, but I know the answer to this is we tend to do it all on business. Like if you were to tell me, like, so I do like the power list, which is 5 tasks a day, critical tasks to move me forward. They're all going to be business. Let's just call it like it is. Like, no.
Let's be honest. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm not going to go work out. No, I'm not going to go walk or do something healthy. You know what I mean? I'd rather go and create something bigger or help somebody or do something. So by incorporating this, it assures that I'm a holistic person. So like my mind is clear so that everything else can be clear. Then my soul's connected so I know what direction I'm going. My body is active so that way I'm healthy and I have the energy to do it. Like these are the things that I focus on every single day. Because if one is out of balance, it's like that thing where you don't think it's really making a difference. It's kind of like your vitamins when you stop taking them because you're like, these are bullshit. And then you don't take them and then you're like, why am I old? Like, why am I falling apart? I have heartburn. I feel like crap. So it's kind of the same thing. Like there are things that you don't think make a difference, but in each category, they make such a big impact over accumulation of time. And so I incorporate that every single day to where I'm doing something in that category because otherwise I'm a freaking mess.
Can you repeat the categories again one more time?
So mind, body, business, and soul. So you want to make sure that you're doing something because I picture it like a triangle, right? You have your mind, your body, your business, and then inside of that triangle is your soul because that's the driver. Your mind is the one that we have to convince, right? Then you have your body, the one that takes action. Then you have your soul that's like the biggest driver of all. So it's like you have these things that we have to do every single day that make us, right? They make up our whole because we aren't just our business. We aren't just our mind. We aren't just our bodies. So when you lean towards one, the other ones are falling behind and they're all chaotic. But when everybody's on the bus and we're all going in the right direction, now you're firing on all cylinders. Mm-hmm. And that's how you get results because you can't neglect, like everybody, you can do your best in your business, but if you're not taking care of your body, it's not sustainable. Right? As much as I hate to admit it. I mean, I like beer and wings and pizza like the rest of us. But if I'm only doing that and not doing my mind and drinking my gallon of water or you know what I mean? Like
I hear you. It's like I get the looks when I'm like, I'm the grandma. I like to be in bed by 10:30.
Yes.
Exactly. And I need to be there earlier because I still have my meditation to do and just slowing down and just shutting my brain off that goes at 10,000 miles an hour every single day. I'm like, I don't care about bar crawls. I don't care about being out forever. It's like once in a while going out, having dinner, we have fun. And I'm out till after midnight. If it happens, it happens. But I feel you.
It's just my peace. And that's what I said. I put myself above everything else because I know what happens when I don't. And so like when I incorporate that, it's like now I have the freedom to I do my morning, I do my nightly routine, and it's not like, oh, this is going to make me successful. It's no, this keeps me sane. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I don't do a nightly routine for a 6-pack. I don't do a nightly routine to be a millionaire. I do it because I need to make sure that I'm the best in all categories because I'm the driver here, right? Like I'm the one that's going to, if or not succeed. So if I don't take care of myself in these categories, then nothing else is going to grow.
And with that, where can people find you that want to be their best self too?
So at Fresh Life Marketing on Instagram, I show up on stories every single day, give you a little kick in the pants like you need it. And then freshlifemarketing.com is my website where it has all the information, blogs, all that fun stuff too.
And as always, you guys going to find it in the description, in the show notes. It's all going to be there, easily clickable for you. Renee, I'll be seeing you in the Instagram stories, and I'll see everybody else in the next episode of Boss Your Business. Bye, everybody.